happy are you with what you've seen from your team tonight? The result, of course, but the performance that went with it.
Yeah, really good. Ricardo team spirit. We were there. Of course, there are some momentums. I know his pressing is really good, but we break up. First half, Jeremy was top. Second half, Semenyo and Erling was much better. So, but all the team, the guys who came from the bench, yeah, good game and first step to reach the final.
So what did you talked about there about Haaland and Semenyo better second half. What more did you ask for at half time?
They were not completely connected. We know that we play a little bit more passes, no long balls, low passes for them, and they were not ready to get that ball. And when Max or Bernardo's or Kusa, they had the ball, they had to be ready to break that line that they make the three holding midfielders high pressing, and the second half they were more connected.
Semenyo's obviously had an incredible start to his City career. Felt like a bit of an old school City goal, that first goal, one winger to another, maybe a bit Sane, Sterling. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, you're right. Always we push Jeremy to arrive in that positions, but we know that I think Andoni Raiola and Bournemouth make an incredible job with him, and every time the ball is in the other side or right to the box, and these are scrappy balls, sometimes in the box, always is there.
Did you think you'd gone 2-0 up before it was actually confirmed right at the end? Obviously, Semenyo had the ball in the net for a second time, ruled out by VAR after a long delay. I mean, I could tell from you on the touchline you weren't impressed, but what did you make of it?
No, for officials in VAR, they are not able to take a decision. How to the referee first and the second. I don't understand why the 60 minutes the Premier League game here, with the penalty for field, VAR didn't say anything. I understand the 20 minutes in Premier League game here, the penalty for Jeremy Doku with Tio. Take a look. Go to the Sky and after analysis, and the day after, I didn't finish. And in that moment, and not even the second goal, the line was really perfect, like today, for millimeters. That I don't understand, but I'm pretty sure the official is going to call me tomorrow to demonstrate why didn't VAR intervene in these two clear penalties with 0-0 in here in this time. And I tell you today, look in my press conference, they say anything after the game against Newcastle here. Although today VAR intervened. I was waiting in that moment. The two unbelievable penalties, and didn't happen. But it's okay. We know how it works, and that will make us stronger. I said many times to the team, always is about that. It's in that situation how we react, why we compete a real game. That is the truth.
So what do you think's happening there? What do you put that inconsistency with VAR?
No,
what do you put it?
You would have said, look, at 60 minutes.
In the league game here?
Yeah, league here, when we lost 2-1. 60 minutes and 20 minutes. Take a look. Take a look at the two penalties.
Okay.
And VAR it was maybe not 4 officials, it was 3 or 2. It was less. I know that. But it's okay. So I say to you because we won. Tell me if I said something after that game that we lost. Tell me.
Well, I know you didn't mention
10 years. 10 years here. I know what happened. And the line today was perfect. Eh? Come on, 9 minutes extra time. So take time not to take a decision for official. Should be the referee to do it. Yeah, in that time not even make a consideration. But it's okay. We won a lot.
I know. But what are you saying? What do you think is going on there?
I don't know. Ask to them. Who is the boss and the referees? What's the name?
Howard Webb?
Okay, ask to him. Ask to him.
So you don't want to make that point any clearer?
It's the semi-finals, so we play for a lot, to reach the final and everything. But that will make us stronger. That will make us stronger as a team.
It's part
But
of...
the fact that I didn't say anything, because do you review the finals FA Cup last season?
Did I?
Can you see the FA Cup when Anderson is a red card, touch the ball outside? Did he say anything? Nothing. But that doesn't mean that we don't say anything. The club, the first. I don't feel we don't realize.
So is this deep-seated, long-term issues you have with VAR, and you feel comfortable saying it tonight because you've still won the game 2-0?
The big teams, the big clubs overcome these situations. If you start to complain to it because we won. If I start to, no. It's part of the game, we have to do it better. To do it better. And to do it better. That is what we have to do. Because we know that is going to happen. So we have to do it better. But no, take a look at the penalties. Last one.
Could it still have an impact, Pep? Because obviously you've won the game 2-0. If that counts, it's 3-0 and, you've got 1 foot in the final.
That is not the point. They could score goals too. We had to tell that is not the point. It's not about that. It's bad why he had 9 minutes to make a VAR disallowed, and why didn't not even say absolutely anything about the two insane penalties with 0-0 in Newcastle.
Okay. We should finish with one more in your team, because you've won 2-0 at Newcastle with a young centre-back partnership. You've become the first team to stop them scoring here this season. So a word for those guys.
What a game, Max and Kusa. Was so good. I think Max today make a good test. We talk about that. So we play at home, but now coming here against Visa, against all the players, against Gordon, against Lang at the end, Bolton at the end, how we handle it. So what a good decision to bring him back. So thank you so much again for Watford, for Pezzolano, Javi Garcia. They have done an incredible job for him, improving his defensive issues he had because with the ball is extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Thank you, Pat.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Oof. Well, that's tested our knowledge of Manchester City decisions over the past couple of seasons.
That looks like a man that's not ready to retire, by the way. He's loving it.
I'd love to see him like that. I like him.
And City fans will love that, actually. That kind of sort of everybody's against us attitude. You know,
100%.
we don't get the decisions.
He's revved up. I love seeing him like that. Maybe a couple of the decisions. I think the game he's talking about is maybe the one on Foden, the penalty decision.
Malik Chow,
and Malik Chow as well. Maybe was a handball one.
It was a short tackle and then a handball, I think.
Was it? But I just love seeing Pep like that.
And Dean Henderson in the cup final is the other instant he's referring to there, and whether there should have been a red card.
But he's got a point though, hasn't he? I mean. It doesn't.
Well, you think there's an agenda against Man City?
No, I don't think there's an agenda. I just like the fact that he's come out and, I won't say criticised, but called out VAR. Because when we look at that goal, especially today, OK, if it's offside, you made a really good point. That is totally fine. But why is it taking 5.5 minutes? It doesn't put doubt in your mind. And it's like, and then you're taking away goals for that. I understand why he's frustrated. And I absolutely love it. He's come out fighting.
I mean, the other thing he made reference to several times was how that was a perfectly drawn line. And I'm not saying they have a perfectly drawn line for some clubs and not for others. But there are question marks over lines and how they're drawn and when they're put on and what frame they're put on, aren't they?
The big one for me is how exactly can they identify when Semenyo touched the ball? You can see him rocking and rolling it, trying to make out, but it's come off his knee that moment, a fraction of a second here or there. And I think that's the point why really, if you're not sure, you just have to give the goal. And I think that's really the frustration for everybody. The only people that didn't really want to... I think anybody in football would say that surely that should be a goal. Newcastle fans, Newcastle players, obviously delighted. Keeps you in the game at that moment. I get his frustration. I think he was over the top on the... I did that game here, and I remember the Foden one especially. It was... he could have got a penalty, could have not. I don't think there's an agenda, but you know what? I think he's trying to create that us against the world mentality. He's enjoying it right now. I think the players are coming back to fitness. I think he was absolutely delighted. This is the Foden one. I think we've got here, Mike.
We have, yeah. This is the Foden one. Micah?
Let's have a look. This one. Oh, yeah, this is when he kicks it. That was... I think at the time I said it wasn't a penalty, but that is actually a penalty. That is a penalty. That should be given as a penalty. 100%.
I mean, he tried to block the ball. I don't know what he meant to not put the tackle in.
Yeah, but he takes him out while he tries to attempt to play the ball.
We'd have a penalty every week.
And this is the Doku one.
This was definitely a handball.
Definitely not a handball.
I thought this one was because... I don't think that's...
I did. I remember. Actually, that was a penalty. I remember saying that at the time. Now, sorry, Mike.
That's not a natural position. You've lifted your hands up. You've sort of put your hands sort of.
I agree with that one.
That is definitely a penalty.
Dan,
I don't think there's an agenda, but that is definitely.
Even if it was, I just think that there's decisions like that every week. I just think I could probably pull up 4 Man City clips where. There was VAR decisions against it. So listen, I understand and I do agree with you. It's like a us against the world mentality. But I think if we're picking up every single VAR decision, that we're going to be here all day.
I think we can all agree VAR's as bad for everybody. I think it doesn't. I don't think it's enhanced our game. I don't think it's improved the game as a spectacle. And a lot of the decisions that are made, I don't think that. Obviously offside, matter of fact, yes, absolutely love it. But some of the ones when they're subjective, I just don't.
And actually, what you've got there with the handball and the tackle on Foden, and whether Haaland was interfering or not, they're all subjective.
Yeah.
They're all subjective. It's not whether they're right or wrong. They're all subjective. But what I suppose Pep Guardiola has done in that interview is now brought that to the fore. And I'm not saying we've fallen into the trap, but we've actually followed exactly what we were saying to look back at those incidents.
Yeah, but it's taking the responsibility away from the referee reffing the game, because it's always going to be looked at again. And then if you look at an angle, when you're playing it in real time, you're going to make mistakes, and we accept that referees are going to make mistakes. But when it goes to the camera and you slow down the angles, you're always nitpicking, you're always looking for something, and that's exactly what happened tonight. So that's where the frustration comes from. I feel for the referees because it's a very difficult job, and they have to abide by the rules. So it's catch-22. They're damned if you do, damned if they don't, and that's where it's hard for them. But when it's a decision like that tonight, just give the goal.
What he's trying to do as well, I think, is with the VAR now, the next time there's a big VAR decision against them, just to make them go, actually, I remember Pep, maybe should we head towards maybe giving him one? Maybe let's give him, I think Pep's been right. Maybe we have been a little bit harsh on him. That's human nature at times. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you've got one that you're not sure either way, OK, do we want to go against Man City again? I think he's just trying to make people think that we might get one next time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think as well, like before VAR, when the referee made, you'd be fuming, but then you'd see it in real time or watch it and go, yeah, like, benefit of the doubt. But now that they get to see it so many times, and you feel like they still come out with the wrong decision, I think that's where the frustration comes from.
And do you think there is slightly less understanding for, or less sympathy for the officials now? You may not know, but or maybe difficult for you to say.
Yeah.
With less sympathy for officials within the game because the introduction of the technology means that actually they really shouldn't have an excuse. Is that the issue?
And I do feel bad for them, because I feel like now everybody gets to see that and have their opinion in real time. Like, it puts them under pressure. Like, I feel it takes the power, as you were saying, takes the power away from the referees. And it's just a difficult situation. But I think they get, like, yeah.
The thing is with VAR, I think the frustration for football fans that watch it is it's still only a matter of opinion. It's still some guy has looked in it and thinking, yeah, actually, that's a penalty. It's a subjective one.
But it's taken us an extra 6 minutes.
Absolutely, and those 6 minutes that have just bored us all silly and senseless. So I'm not, I still think that that's the frustration with fans. Matter of fact, absolutely all in on goal line technology has revolutionised the game. Yeah. Absolutely had to come in. Offside, we still can't quite get right until we actually see or believe that line is going to be 100% straight. I think we all have the same grievances with it.
Good moments in your life and career of late. I guess that would have to go down as another one.
No, 100%. Tough game today, but we just needed to stick in there. We knew we'd get chances, and that's just in the right area to tap it in, and obviously we're victorious, so happy.
Yeah, does it help the belief and confidence you've brought to the club? You've obviously been flying all season long, and you've picked up where you've left off at Bournemouth.
I think the whole environment here is perfect. Everyone's confident and wanting to achieve the best. So I've just come into that, and they've helped me with my confidence and made me feel welcome.
Different working for this manager, and obviously you've seen these players from the outside, but working with them in a couple of games and the little time you've probably had on the training pitch.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Definitely been a lot, but I've enjoyed it so far. I'm definitely picking up things very quickly, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I said,
crazy to think it was last Wednesday that you scored your last goal for Bournemouth, and here you are. 2 City goals in already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking the confidence that I had from Bournemouth here, and like I said, playing with a smile on my face. So I'm enjoying every moment.
What did you say to the camera at the end?
Second goal should have counted. The referee came and spoke to me and told me what was going on, but yeah, it's what it is.
Okay, well done. You're the player of the match.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Tom.
It is what it is, and we will come on to that in a little while, but let's look at the 2 goals first of all. And actually, the City opener, Jamie, came off the back of some Newcastle pressure.
It did, and it also comes off the back of Jacob Murphy not being on the pitch. I think that has a massive implication on the goal. You can see because of you're a man down. Jacob Ramsey, that makes such a difference because you're not there, you're not tight enough to people. You can see he's at the bottom of the screen, wants to come back, or he's had a head knock. But from your perspective, Dan, it just makes it more difficult in getting tighter to people, and you're with one less man.
Yeah, I think so. I think you saw the whole game that we're trying to go 2v1 on Doku. And I think it probably just brings that Jacob's not in the position that you would want him to be in. I think Louis Miley probably thinks, I need to stay a bit more with Bernardo Silva when he could come with Doku, and then gets caught a bit in between. Obviously the flick, listen, great flick from Silva and a good finish, but I feel like if we had 11 on the pitch at the time, I don't think this goal happens.
I think Antoine Semenyo was talking to him about this, getting into that back post, almost those Salah types of goals. Anthony Gordon switches off and Semenyo nips in there, and it's a great finish from his perspective.
Yeah, really good finish. That's sort of the Sterling sort of goal, isn't it? At the back post there, always making sure you make the run. But I don't know if we can see that angle on the first angle of that goal. It is so good from Bernardo Silva, the way he goes in the little pocket of space there. If you just watch it, slow it down here. Look at Bernardo Silva now. So Miley has to go with him. That allows now Doku to go with Harvey Barnes down this side, one-on-one, and he has to block that inside. So now Bernardo Silva, because they've got a man more, is allowed to coast in that space, where Semenyo then comes at the back post. But brilliant play.
But they, from a Newcastle point of view, those are the fine margins, aren't they? Because you were talking about, you all have to learn your trigger points with Eddie Howe. You all have to know when to press, when to double up. And if you are a man down in that channel, then that's how that goal comes, from your perspective, that's how that goal comes about.
Yeah, I think everybody knows the jobs in the team and exactly what they're meant to do, and I think going down to 10 men for however little time that was has obviously affected it. And it is fine margins. Like, we had 2 good chances. Wiss hit the bar, good save from Traff.
And you're just getting momentum as well, wouldn't you? There's a bit of a break in the game, 2 or 3 minutes, and it seemed to affect you more than it did them.
Yeah, hugely. And I think obviously when City go goal up, they can then keep the ball and they don't have to attack as much. And I think that's when they started to grow into the game a lot more and probably got.
I don't think Murphy coming off hindered you a little bit. I thought in that first half it was absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't replicate that in the second half.
Yeah, I think so. I think I said that about Murph before. Everybody knows exactly what's happening with Murph. When the ball goes in that space, he's firing that ball across. And as I said, it's fine margins, like 2-0. To be honest, I didn't think it was a 2-0 game. But yeah, frustrating.
The second goal, deep in second half, stoppage time, is a great goal. The first thing I thought, Michael, when I saw the replay was, it's all New City that creates this. Yeah,
it's really good. Ait-Nouri, Cherki involved, and Semenyo with the pass. Well, this is what you expect from City players, and this is why they've been bought in. And that's why I thought Semenyo was going to be so good, because he can make passes like that. And Cherki, you've talked about him so many times, haven't you, Jamie, how good he is. Both-footed, gets in really good positions, and then the finishing touch as well.
I think so, Micah, because it felt for a long while players like this were going out of the game, what we call mavericks, people that can make those final moments. I absolutely love watching him play. Left foot, right foot, he's a magician on the ball. Just watch how he gets into a lovely position. He's next to the referee, and he just sees a little bit of space opens up. Now he's got his right arm up. Can you play it to me? Antoine Semenyo sees him. Joe Linton doesn't react in time, flicks, and then now he's off. Makes a good bit of aggressive run to get onto the next one. They slide it back to him. It's brilliant by Ait-Nouri, and then he's in a goal-scoring position. Because what I thought when they'd signed him, they've obviously done a lot of due diligence on finding out about players like him. But you never know how they're going to do. You don't know how they're going to adjust to the Premier League, because sometimes players like you can think, well, it's all right when we got the ball, we're going to be fine with it. But what he's actually shown, he can do it with the ball and without it. And I think when I watch football, when you pay to watch footballers, you want to see someone that can do something that can light the stadium up. I mean, I remember many years ago, they had King Clancy at Man City, someone that can do something, a maverick. Now, Georgie was probably great with the ball, not so good without it, but he actually does a great job without the ball. And you can see, because I reckon there were reservations. They would have thought, is he the sort of player that we want in here? Maybe they'd heard a couple of things without the ball. Is he going to work? The team ethic we have here. But I think he's been an unbelievable signing. The signing of the season for me so far. Like, absolutely brilliant. I love to see mavericks like that play football. You love him, don't you?
What is Pep saying to him?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't lip read, can I?
What? I don't know. You can't. No, that's a fair point. He cost 34 million.
Absolute steal. Absolute bargain. I can't believe it. And I actually spoke to Thierry Henry, because he had him for the Olympics under 23 squad. And there was one thing, like you said, Jamie, that wasn't quite sure on his work rate. On the ball, he said he's one of the best at that age, is one of the best he's ever seen. But Pep, playing for Pep, you know you're going to have to work hard, and that's now what is added to his game.
He can make the ball talk. You can see it's such his friend. Like, he moves it left foot, right foot, drags it away from you. I'm actually surprised he's not won more penalties because he's always enticed you. Did you play against him early in the season?
Did play against him early in the season, but I think it's probably helped the age that he's came over here as well. You've got like experienced heads in there like Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz, and I think when you get a bit older, you get a bit set in your ways, then it's hard to like train that out of you. But I don't think he's probably been given the choice being here. Like, I think City's standards are top of the top, and they won't allow that to happen. And I think he's obviously reaping the benefits from it.
Let's deal with the disallowed goal, shall we? Look, we'll try and talk you through this in amongst everybody in the studio sighing, right? But it was given for offside against Erling Haaland. Now, look, when you look at that, he's actually behind Nick Pope. So when you look at the lines, he is in an offside position. That is what VAR have deemed. And then it becomes subjective. So does the referee think that Haaland, in an offside position, is impacting Thiago's ability to get the ball when it comes off Semenyo's knee? Now, it doesn't matter that they're holding each other because he's in the offside position. So then VAR will say to the referee, this is your call. Do you think Haaland, by doing that, has stopped Thiago from getting the ball or making an attempt to get the ball? And that was why Kavanagh was sent to the screen, and that was why they disallowed it. That's the process. Fill your boots.
Okay, I understand the process, but VAR wasn't brought in for this reason here. This is
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
This is anti-goal, which they said they wasn't going to do. They said they're not going to re-referee the game. This, for me, is re-refereeing the game. And if you look at Chow and Haaland here, they've both got each other. OK, on that angle, it looks like Haaland's got him a little bit more. But on the reverse angle, Chow's got his arm round his neck. So they're both going at it. I don't think... Why goals for this?
If they would have given the goal, there wouldn't have been one person would have looked at this and thought that shouldn't have been allowed. But by the letter of the law, they've actually... Whether we like it or not, ends up being the right decision.
OK, if it was... OK, I understand that, and that's totally fair. But why take 5.5 minutes?
5.5 minutes of my life, Michael, I'm never going to get back. Right? And we all sit, and I feel sorry for the fans that have paid, everyone at home.
Because they've got no idea.
No idea.
And obviously,
Nobody
to reiterate it, I'm sure everybody watching knows, but when you are in the ground, you don't see any of this that's going on. You're treated like an idiot, aren't you? You're not allowed in the process if you're in the ground.
No, but I think what's happened is they've looked at it and gone... Because once you can see that Haaland is... And they're impacting each other, and you can see that he is behind it, which makes deemed an offside position, just give it. If that's what you think... You know, do I think it's... Should we... Like you're saying, anti-goal. None of us like it. I mean, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it was a great decision. For me, that's why VAR was
But you mentioned something... I think there's a really important part in this as well, because you mentioned Rodri's impact as well on Joe Linton, who does a great job for you just in the middle of the 6-yard box. So then we can see it again.
Yeah, you just see the way Joe Linton should be middle of the 6-yard box, and Rodri moves him out of the way, which then allows Semenyo to do it. So, and I think Rodri's so good at that. Every time I see him to cover City on set pieces, like, he's always the one who blocks or always times it really well. But
look at Chow's arm round Haaland there.
Yeah, just forget the arms and everything. Do you think that Thiago would have stood a chance of getting that ball?
What, if Haaland's not there?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, I think he does. I think, to be honest, I do think it's the right decision. I just don't like this subjective offside. I think it's either it's offside or it's not. And as soon as it says offside, then it's offside. I think subjective is like...
So can you sort of sum it up? It may sound a bit daft, this, but it's the right decision by the letter of the law, but it's not right for football.
No, we don't want to see that. But on the letter of the law, that is like it should have been disallowed. So.
And also, the improvisation by Semenyo is world class. I mean, he could have had 2 goals today. Obviously, the man of the match. What an impact he's made since he's come to Man City.
It's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He started on the right, went on to the left. Looked really positive with him and Doku. And then you've got Cherki as well and Foden. Man City now starting to look like the force. I think in terms of what they're doing defensively, still a little bit not right, I would say. I think they're a lot better when Rodri's in there. Still conceding counter-attacks, but what they've got going
Would
forward...
you go buy a centre-half this January?
No, because I thought Elaine was outstanding. That's how good I thought it was. For a player to come in that young and make the right decisions here at St James's Park, one of the hardest stadiums to come, and look so composed... I'm all for youth. I'd give him a chance.
I think it's a great point because I have to be honest. I was nervous for both of them tonight. Kushinov and Elaine together as a pair. I thought this is a great chance for Newcastle, but I thought they adapted really well. Obviously, they were quick across the ground. I think they never really give Visser an opportunity. Then they had to change the whole dynamic and they had to defend against Voltemada. I agree. I was nervous for them tonight. And it is. And I think the fact we spoke about this earlier on, the fact that he's gone on loan to Watford has given him that confidence. If he'd not got on a loan and did really well, there's absolutely no way Pep would have played him. The fact is he's proved he can play at this level or at certainly Championship. And I thought as a centre-back, I think even you would admit they were great today.
Very good. And I think when you're that age as well and the situation he's brought into, he's kind of got like nothing to lose, as in... He's been brought in, there's been a lot of injuries, so they've had to do it. So like, if he plays well, then great. If not, it's sort of that confidence about him that, I thought he was brilliant tonight. Everything he did, he just did everything really simple.